Welcome to the October 1st ARB meeting. Call to order. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we call the roll?
Anna McIntyre.
Here.
Jennifer Nemesis.
Here.
Laurel Gaffney.
Here.
And we are missing Laura Rappiani and Sylvia Luca.
Okay. Welcome everyone. We have a couple of items on tonight's agenda. But before we do that, do we have everybody here to make a motion to approve minutes for September 5th?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any issues with regard to anything they've read in the meeting minutes?
No.
Okay, that being the case, I'd like to make a motion that we approve September 5th meeting minutes.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting minutes September 5th have been approved. So, two items on this evening's agenda. The first item is application number 23-32, located at 600 White Plains Road. If the applicant could come up to the podium, introduce themselves, and give us a kind of brief overview of this application.
Good evening, my name is Kevin Munene, representing Shaheen Badali on this application. The application is for a canopy structure over an existing gasoline station. There is currently 2 open air pumps at the site, and our client is proposing, or we're proposing, to build a canopy structure above it, and that's essentially the entire application. With conjunction to this application, as per planning board, and probably which would just foresee the comments that might arise here, is 2 bollards that were here around the canopy structure that were painted a different color from what the canopy structure was going to be, and we're going to repaint those, but they're already existing. We're not proposing that in this application. So the only thing we're proposing is the canopy structure that you see on the plans. I do have color sample, like a color printout for the specifications of the color. We didn't get, the client didn't get the asphalt samples to us in time for the planning board. If need be, I can bring them to a next meeting. Otherwise, it's your discretion if you want to see the samples. But it's a Biscayne blue asphalt shingles, and the color on the trims and the column itself is going to be snowfall white, which is almost similar to the color of the convenience store, which is kind of like a cream stucco on it. So yeah, that's basically the proposal. I can hand you the specification for the color. See, it's the first color on that sheet, snowfall white.
Thanks.
So that's the color of the structural sort of
the
columns
and the trim, yeah.
The fascia.
Yeah.
What's the fascia made out of?
Aluminum. It's metal.
Okay. And it's just what, like a shingle, sort of pitched roof on it? Is it
Yes, sir.
asphalt shingle?
Asphalt shingle, yep.
Do you have a plan?
Yeah, well, a plan view?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a cross section for it, and this is the plan view for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have it. It's like
A pitched, yeah, it's like a gable
okay.
roof, yeah.
So what's on the top?
It's just it's like the ridge is like a HSS tube.
Right, but on the top of the roof, right? You have the shingle on, I guess, the four sides, the two front
Oh.
sides and the gables. What's on the top?
Like before, well, you place the shingles on, is what you mean, right?
Well, is it shingle on the top, on the flat side?
There's no flat, it's like,
Yeah, I think if you
Looks
look up
flat to
here,
me.
it's like this.
Am I missing something?
I think you're just looking at one view, that's the front view, where it's straight across the top, but it
Okay,
angles
so you
back
got a
and
ridge.
front.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
there's a ridge, yeah.
Okay, so it's a 3 12 pitch.
right.
Okay.
So I see you have gutters. Where are they pitching? Into the center or out to the sides?
Into the center. Yeah, they all incorporate into the center.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the drain is within the column, so it pitches into the center and then it's picked up and drained through the center.
Does that hook into like an existing drainage
Existing
system?
drainage system, yep.
I did have a question about the roof, the shingle color selection, with it being blue. I know that that's currently, what, the Sinclair gas station? And it's kind of like a green theme right now. What is the reasoning behind the blue selection of the roofing? Does it match the existing building? Do you know?
The owners requested a blue one, but if you need us to match the existing.
I was just wondering, because like I know that the color theme of that, the gas station currently is like
Green,
green. Yeah, and so I was curious if it was just, what their reasoning was for picking blue.
No, there was no particular, it was just a request. But we can match the existing on the convenience store, which would make sense.
Do we have a sample of the blue shingle?
Do we have what? No, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. The client did not get the samples towards in time for the meeting, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There were some pictures in the back of this though. Of
Yeah, I do have,
It's not like really blue, it's just got a blue tinge.
Right.
Yeah, there.
so is there any other sort of enhancements, in terms of tying everything together from an aesthetic appearance? Like with regard to the existing building? Do you have any pictures of the existing building?
I did not issue pictures of the existing building if
Okay.
you needed. The existing building is a cream stucco face. That's why we chose the snowfall white, which kind of looks like a cream, almost white color, so it matches the prettier might be a little too dark, but this is grayed out a little bit, so this one kind of sticks out. But these two colors almost match, and like you brought up, this color of the shingles should probably match the building, would make more sense. So I'll look into making that green.
There should be some pictures of the existing building. I have some if you don't have them in your packets. If you want
Okay.
guys around to see.
I got them there. Is there any requirement for like fire suppression in the underside of this?
Yes, it is incorporated into the canopy structure.
Or is that what you asked there?
She asked about drainage.
Okay. So is that going to be recessed in the underside of the,
Yeah, along with the lights, yep.
okay. So where the Ansel or the suppression tanks?
That's something we would have to discuss with the client to see where you want to locate them, and also the manufacturer. Yeah.
That needs to be on the drawing.
Okay.
Again, this is a pretty sizable, element, right? Like, and wasn't this on last year?
Yeah.
So, we just want to make sure that even though it's a gas station and, it may not be that obvious, it is pretty obvious right on the sort of main thoroughfare in our town. We want everything to kind of look like it's all sort of cohesive and goes with the existing building, so, you know, certainly in something like that, I think that's a, you know, pretty integral component to what this addition is. I've seen these gas tanks that they've been sort of strapped to the structure in the past. And certainly the fire suppression heads, if they're proud of the ceiling and below the ceiling, that's certainly something that needs to be indicated and picked up, because, you know, that certainly has a bearing on what this is going to look like when it's all said and done. If they're recessed in the, you know, the structure and in the ceiling of this, that's certainly something that needs to be indicated. You do show the gutters, but again, we're kind of taking your word for it that the leaders are in the, you know, they're in the post, is that it? Strapped to the post?
Into the column.
Where do they go after that?
Existing drainage system.
Okay, again, that's something that kind of needs to be, you know, baked into this document. There is lighting, you said, on the underside of this canopy?
Yeah, it's on the plan. It's on the plan view.
Okay.
So sheet A100, page 5.
So there's those two Lithonia LED canopies?
Yes, sir. And the spec sheet for it is on page 7.
Okay. So are they manually switched on and off? Are they on a timer? What time, you know, do they go on at? What time do they, you know, more importantly, what time do they go off at?
The convenience store is, I don't think it's 24 hours. I think it is 24 hours. No, it's not 24 hours. So I would imagine it's open to close of the store, of the store hours.
Okay, again, right, like, I think that kind of information, either it's kind of noted on here, or certainly as part of your presentation to planning board, I think that kind of information is valuable, you know, for you to be able to convey to answer a pretty basic question. And again, just in terms of the whole color, I think if you're painting it, then I think everything should look similar. It should look like it's a kind of cohesive presentation rather than looking like it's kind of an afterthought and something that was kind of, you know, just put there more recently than on the building itself. Any other signage or anything like that that's being proposed on?
No, not under this application. Signage would, if any, would be done separately by the client, yeah.
Our sign law doesn't allow signs on the canopy itself.
Right, okay. And like, just as a matter of interest, like, there's been sort of probes done, geotech probes, to make sure we can put these sort of foundations in? There's no, like,
Not yet.
gas tanks or anything like that under the?
Not yet. We haven't done any geotech probes on it.
Okay. So is there a possibility that this might not be, you might not be able to do this?
There's always but the column location can always be shifted, you know, left or right, depending on where there's more access to it, because it's just a matter of the strength of the structure itself, strengthening it. But I don't believe that should be an issue solving, providing those columns.
Okay. Okay. Let's see, I want to just open it up and see, is there anybody? So I'd like to make a motion to open up application 23-32, the public Public hearing, do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody here would like to speak with regard to application 23-32? Now is your opportunity. Okay, seeing there's nobody here, I'd like to make an application to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed on this application. Anything else?
No, I think the roof should match the existing. And you better, when you're looking at the suppression, because it may change the pitch of that. So if that's you should really look into that before you move on to the planning board.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Okay, so I heard 4 comments during the review. So first is that the shingle of the canopy should match the existing roof. The second is that the location of the fire suppression tank should be shown on the plans. The third is that the connection of the leaders and gutters to the existing drainage system should be shown on the plans. And the fourth is that the hours of operation for the pumps and lighting should be provided on the plans.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to move this application on to the planning board for their review. Do I have a second?
Second?
With those conditions.
With those conditions.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you. Okay, next application is application number 24-36, located at 77 Altamont Avenue. The applicant could please come up, introduce themselves, and give us a kind of brief overview.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Gizzo from R&A Property Ventures. We're here proposing a 2-story addition to an existing structure. I mean, I don't do this, so. It's going to be a 4-bedroom.
Maybe if you want to go through the finishes.
Finishes of the outside.
Yes.
Yeah. So for the roof shingle, it's going to be a GAF architectural, related to the front, black. The siding would be hardy plank, clapboard.
In this color?
Yes.
You guys want to see it? Should I pass it down? Sure.
And then the AZAC. Let's see the board or?
Is there a different type? Because I noticed that there's another shingle on here too. Like there's the boards and then the shingles as well.
Yeah. I guess that's what you put on the plans. I didn't see that.
It almost looks like a fish scale.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
scallopy fish.
And can you please use your microphone?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Is that going to be a different color if it is a fish scale?
I believe the same color.
So are you the builder, Anthony?
Yes.
So you're building it?
The architect wasn't able to make it tonight.
Okay. Okay, so let's see how we can kind of work. So this is your first presentation to our board, right?
Correct. Well, I've done one on online through Zoom.
No, that must have been a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
COVID.
So this
Yeah,
is definitely
COVID.
new. Yeah, during COVID, correct.
How'd you get on that night?
I think my
got the
daughter
thumbs
was
up, or you-
No, my daughter was home.
Okay.
So that's what she does.
That was probably your biggest problem, technology, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a field guy.
I got you.
I know where to start and
I
finish.
appreciate the field guy. So listen, obviously, this is important, not having your design professional here with you this evening. We're not going to, we're not going to sort of hold that against you. We're going to try and work you through this process, but again, you see the importance of being able to articulate, his design, him to be able to speak about the finishes, the scaling, the mass of the project, the setbacks, all those kind of things that are important that us as a board need to kind of weigh up and evaluate as part of our sort of back and forth review with the applicant and the people that they've hired to kind of walk through this process and ultimately move it sort of on to the next board so that ultimately you can kind of get your permit and you can get going. So
Yeah.
so kind
That's
of
why I'm here tonight, because he wasn't able to come.
okay. Well, he should be
So I
here.
know, yeah, I agree. It was his anniversary, so there wasn't much I can argue about.
I got you. I'm not touching that one. So
Yeah.
so okay. So
I know he's within the setbacks of the drawing, of the property.
okay.
Do you maybe want to start with the rendering and maybe,
Yeah, let's talk about the
Yeah.
rendering.
do
Yeah.
you have the rendering? Would you like to put this one up?
So just from the rendering, even though there is no top of wall or bottom of wall, you need a railing and a fence, because even though there's no top of wall, bottom wall stated, a garage door is at least 7 to 8 feet high, so that means you're over 7 feet, 8 feet high. So you need a fence around that, so that someone doesn't fall
Yeah,
off.
fall protection.
So it's going to have to be on both sides, too, from what it looks like in the rendering.
I don't think I don't think the height with the doors is correct.
You don't think that's correct in the
No.
rendering?
I
Nah,
noticed,
because the wall that's there now is maybe 4.5 feet, 5 feet at best, because I'm taller than it.
Anything over 3 feet needs,
Yeah, I know you need bushes or a railing, and there will be something there,
okay, well, that needs to be indicated on the plan.
okay?
shown and, yeah, detailed.
If it's a plant, if it's a railing, if it's both, which might be better, especially when you're closer to the house by the garage door,
Yeah.
you got to show it on the plan.
It certainly looks like it even on your front elevation.
Yeah.
The
pretty steep.
scale drawing, yeah.
There were
It's
some-
almost at the top of
There
the...
were some definite
the header.
discrepancies between
Yes.
the rendering and the drawings themselves. There's not, the rendering doesn't show a wall on the other side, but the plans and the elevations do. The wall heights are different between the two. The wall also, in the plans, is indicated to be a segmental retaining wall with block, which typically has a batter to it, but those drawings make it look like it's, a straight up and down wall with the same finish wrapping around the foundation walls, same kind of stone effect, which, if there is a product that, manufactures a facade for the wall that would match the retaining wall segmental block, we'd probably want to see a sample of it and see that reflected in on the renderings as well.
And also, you should differentiate what's new and what's old. Is anything going to be kept from the old house, or is everything going to be replaced, the windows, everything?
Yes.
Okay, that has to be indicated to you.
I believe it's in the plans, huh?
I don't think we
Well,
have,
it's a little difficult in the fact that the existing, I had to kind of sort of ciphered through the drawings to try and see, what the old footprint is versus what the new footprint is. And I think that's the reasoning for the question. It's a little unclear as to what's existing versus what's strictly new.
So what's strictly new is actually the two-car garage and above it. Everything to the right is pre-existing.
But you're putting all new AZEC?
Correct.
Okay.
This is an existing structure that's there on the right,
Okay.
2 stories.
So the windows are going to remain from the original house, and you're going to match them to the new addition?
No, we're putting all new windows.
All new?
Is the front door moving?
Yes. over
Okay.
to- Oh, yeah, you have a copy there.
Yeah.
I gotcha, but
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
we're not looking to, to kind of figure this out, from the photographs. Like, this is the information that kind of needs to be on the drawing,
Yeah.
needs to be clear. This is the architect's licensed stamp on it. Ultimately, this is what's going to be reviewed, by a number of boards before it goes to the building department, to grant a permit on this. So that's kind of why we're looking to try and,
Yeah, and to answer hers, on the back page of this one, it's a unilock system for the walls.
Yeah.
That's what he's showing on plans. So you said you'd like to see a block of it?
I think maybe we'd just like to see some sort of finish.
Yes, just so we can see how it looks with all of it.
Yeah.
right, and didn't you have a valid point, though, in the fact that maybe poured concrete?
Yeah, I'm an engineer, and I just know that those segmental retaining wall blocks are, I don't know, they're not my favorite, especially along driveways. They are designed to move and shift over time, and I just personally would always, in this sort of situation, would recommend like either CMU or concrete retaining wall with a full footing down like underneath. You're gonna have to go down that deep anyway to add that garage, so if you're gonna excavate all of
It's not
that.
that deep.
Well, at the base of the garage, you gotta go 3'6" down from there, so.
So this is showing like pitching into the garage. It's actually the garage pitches to the road. So that's
It
why.
doesn't matter, because the garage is unheated, so at that base of the garage, the footings still have to go 3'6" down.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah, I got that. But I mean, the drawing is showing more. I mean, you could see from the
Yeah, I do
old-
think it's like, it's showing a little bit
Yeah,
more pitch
drastic,
than
like
it is.
8-foot wall, but it's literally, I think at the back height, it might be at best 4.5, 5 foot.
Okay,
It's not that drastic.
then they should definitely show that on the drawing. But
Yeah.
I did see a drawing on here with some elevations of the wall,
Yeah, there was. That's what I was trying to find on it.
top of wall 200.
Well, that should be clear on the plot.
It looks like it's 6 feet, around 6
The
feet.
new wall that he built.
Do we have,
One side is,
Eliminate one step at the door.
the inside of the garage is 194, top of the left wall is 198, top of the right wall is 200. So you're in the neighborhood of
so
maybe a
that's
little
really
bit
not
less
even
than 6
shown on the
feet.
plot plan.
No.
So, to what you just said regarding the way it's indicated on the rendering, where it looks like the road pitches to the garage, but you said it's actually the opposite?
I think it's going to the garage. You have a trench drain down there and it says sloped that way. It may not be as drastic as what this looks like, but I
Right.
think it's still going down.
But that shouldn't be something that's so mystifying to us. That should be indicated on the plot plan. Right? And I don't see that, I don't see
it.
any sort of grade or topography indicated on.
So on
drawing-
one, so the house is on a hill.
If you go to A2, drawing A2,
Yep.
Right?
is that the new set or the old set?
Well,
The
that's,
new.
Yeah, this one, the one that I have here shows the
The
grading
dry
lines.
wells in the back and
okay, that's fine, sorry. We didn't do all that. Okay. Well, it is sloping again from the you know, from the street.
Yeah, on the right side, because it's on a hill. On the right side, it slopes in, on the left side, slopes out. It's a hill.
Okay.
It's not a, you know, a flat.
Right, so I guess the 198, 196, so it's down 2 feet.
From one corner to the other.
Oh, that's the top of the wall.
Yeah.
So it's 194. And what's the street? What's the curb? Do we know what that is? Bottom of wall, 200, so it's 6 feet?
That doesn't make sense.
No.
These numbers don't make sense. The top, it says top of wall 186.6, bottom of wall 200.
Right.
It
Yeah.
would be nice to see some elevations of
Right, like
the walls.
it's kind of in a, right, do you see what we're talking about? Look at drawing number A2, the new drawing,
This one.
okay? Left-hand side,
Yep.
right? We're trying to determine what your curb level is at the top of your driveway. Right? And there's TW and BW. TW we're assuming is top of wall, BW is bottom of wall.
Yeah.
So on the right-hand side there, it says top of wall is 186.6. Right? Bottom of wall
Is
is 200. That's a 14-foot differential. Right? We know that's not right.
Yeah. It also, I don't think the 186.6 is right either, because the other side is 196.
Yeah, 196.
That'd
I'm
be a
assuming
10-foot
that's a
difference
typo.
and, yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, that's kind of stuff that's really important. You know, we need to kind of know that, because it's conflicting with what you said, it's conflicting with what the rendering shows, and that's probably one of the most important elements of the application is the plot plan and the levels on that. That's probably one of the most important pieces of information on the whole application. So that's got to be right. And right now, I'm not sure you can tell us what it is, and we can't kind of figure it out. Not looking to rain on your architect's anniversary, but that needs to be a little bit clearer. And again, listen, we do see that, you know, you have the existing, so all of the existing foundation is remaining on the number 77, on the existing home. Everything is remaining, the foundation?
Yes.
Okay. But as you said, you're moving the front door and looking at the pictures, all of the foundation for the steps is getting chopped up, right?
Yes, it's going to be
And
moved
it's
over.
all,
That's shown on there.
okay. So, is there new air conditioning being proposed?
Yes.
So, where, is that indicated on any of these drawings, in terms of where the condensers?
It's on A2, on the left.
The new A2? Okay.
So there are two zones. Is one existing?
No, they're both be new. There is an existing, but
Yeah, you're just going to read.
Okay, I see that, sorry.
Another thing that I was noticing on the renderings compared to the drawings is that if you're looking at the house, the right side, where is it? It shows some plantings along the door with a path, like with a garden bed there, but on the plans, there's no garden bed, and the stairs, the stairs go straight out, and then there's like a turn and the path comes along with some nice area with planting. And on the drawings, the walkway is right up against the house, and there's not a whole lot of room there even to push the walkway out, so I think that needs to be clarified as to what's going on, because that kind of makes a big difference with the look along the side of the house there. And you're showing, the architect's showing, what is it, 3 risers up to that door, whereas here it's just like a single step. And I think actually 3 risers, I think, requires a railing too.
Yep.
Yeah, so that needs to be
So it's not a
clarified.
tripping hazard.
Yeah. Same thing, railings on the front steps, we need those too. So, other things. The rear elevation also has a window shown in a different place than the proposed elevations in the plans. This window here, that on the rendering it aligns on the, if you're looking at the back, on the left side, it's shown aligned with the window below, but here it's kind of, they're offset and kind of in a sort of awkward spot there, at least in my opinion.
Okay, do we want to open up the public hearing?
Sure.
So I would like to make a motion to open up application number 24-36. Public hearing on this application. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anybody here that would like to come up and speak regarding this, then by all means, here's your opportunity.
I just want to have a question because I'm a neighbor, but I can ask him afterwards. I'm the neighbor of this house.
Okay. Okay, so you don't want to sort of ask any questions in this sort of public forum?
And
If you do, you just need to kind of come up, introduce yourself, so it's for the record.
I live at 68 Anderson.
talking to the mic.
Into the mic, please.
Yeah.
Apologies. Hello, my name is Maxim Artemko. I live at 68 Anderson Avenue, which shares backyard with this house. So I just had a few questions. That's the reason why I'm here. So the question I have is, you only add like this way, right? You're not extending towards the backyard. Okay, so that's like one of the things that I've seen when I've done from the rendering. And then the other main question I had was, how, like ballpark figure of how long it would take approximately, or you don't have that at the moment?
No.
Okay. That was the main thing, that's why I'm here, basically. Okay. All right, well,
Is that-
thank you. Yeah, that was pretty much
Okay.
it.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. So, do we leave it open? Do we?
Yeah, so
Close
that's
it?
up to you. If you are comfortable forwarding this on with all of these conditions for the planning board to review, then you can forward it on. Otherwise, you should keep it open and receive new plans to
Right.
review at your November
Right.
meeting.
Me too.
Okay, okay, so we're not going to close the public hearing on this application because I think, there's more work to be done. I think there's more information that needs to be kind of shared here, so it would be unfair to close it at this stage. So the public hearing will remain open. Anything else that we want to sort of share that we haven't said
So
already?
I've kind of made a running list of the things you've been asking for, so maybe if I could just go through it to
Please
clarify
do.
kind of what
Yeah.
you'd like to see. So the first is that you'd like to see the site plan with accurate grading. The second is that you would like to see the elevations clarified and materials provided for the scallop shingle. You'd like to see the specifications for the railing at the top of the retaining wall. You'd like to have the walkway and steps on the side of the addition clarified. You'd like to show the railing on the front steps and on the side walkway, and the rendering should be revised to match the elevation.
I think also we'd maybe like to see elevations of the retaining walls also.
And a sample of that retaining wall.
Yeah.
And also, and again, it's just a little unclear to me, a little more line definition and a little bit more sort of clarity on the plans as to what's existing to remain versus new. Because if we do look at drawing A3, it does show the footprint of the existing house, but it does look like that the left side of the basement looks like it's new.
There was an addition on it already. In the left part of the house, there was a tree,
Right.
and now we're going over that addition.
I understand, but it's calling for it to be new. Pin new foundation wall to existing foundation. So this, again, I'm just assuming by reading this, that this is a new section.
Yeah, that's not. That's the old, that's the existing.
Right, that's the existing footprint, but it looks like this piece has been possibly removed, and this looks like it's new because there's a line there. So again, that kind of needs to be clarified, because that's the kind of stuff that we can't just assume because it's noted that way that, you know, it's new or it's existing. It has to be very clear, especially when it comes to sort of structural components.
I mean, it does say existing structure.
It's not this sheet, it was another, it's the it's the basement plan,
Yeah,
A3.
A3. It does say existing, you're right, and that's what you said. But if you look at A3, it calls it to be new.
So this note here says pin new foundation wall to existing foundation wall. It's just confusing. That should be probably over where the actual intersection is of the new with the existing. I mean, architects oftentimes submit like existing plans
Yeah.
and then propose, same thing, existing elevations and
This is the
proposed.
existing part of the house,
Yeah,
and this is the new.
That's what you've said, and that's what we're going with, but this is contradictory.
and there are a lot of changes and throughout the rest of the house too. I think it would be helpful to see, did he provide demolition plans at all?
No.
Because that's usually needed too.
Because to me, it almost looks like, you know, this thing is getting ripped down to,
Yeah, I mean, the roof lines are all different, windows are all different, the front door is moving, like it's a lot of change.
Yeah.
you know, like you as the builder, are you just assuming you're taking it right down to the top of the foundation wall?
The top floor to match the, you know, to cut the new roof in, yes. Because this is a new dormer in the front. Now it's just a regular gable.
So you're keeping the four walls?
Yeah. And we're just gonna open up, you know, close windows and open up different windows.
Okay. Yeah, listen, it's a big, you know, it's a big lump of a house,
Oh, yeah.
right? So, you know, we have some questions, and it's all got to look like it's, you know, new when it's all said and done. So we have some questions. I think it's clear. I think you're working at a little bit of a disadvantage because the guy who did the drawings and you hired and rely upon to be able to get you through this process
Yep.
is not here, you know, speaking on behalf of what he's presented. So again, we're looking to try and be as proactive and work with every applicant to move this along, but we can't do that in good conscience if we really don't understand all of the answers to the questions that we've asked.
Understood.
Okay? So with that, I think this application 24-36, we'd like it to come back, and I think we can certainly provide you with, some of the items, a list of all the items we kind of just reviewed, so.
You're just gonna
Sure,
send
we
them?
issue a memo after the meeting that'll go through everything that was asked for.
Okay.
And, take that, provide all that, but also think the spirit of the memo, and if anything else can be clarified or can provide any more information, it would just make the next appearance smoother.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. That is the extent of our agenda this evening, correct? So that being the case, I'd like to make a motion to conclude and close October 1st ARB meeting. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.